What's good, family? My bad. What's good, family? Back with another session of the Smokers Lounge. I am your host, Chris Cyphers, and we about to throw down another concessions on the FLYday Friday. You know how we do. We live on the Smokers Lounge. Throw the link in the chat as we always do. Come up and join the bill. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Hey, what's good, brother Aaron? Is in the building. What's going on? Drop. What's good, brother? How y'all doing? What's going on, brother? Welcome to the panel.
Shit, cool.
Chilling, man. High frequencies. You already know how it is.
Yeah, what you was thinking about building about?
Oh, this is another round of the confessions. So, we could build, we could tap in each other's knowledge. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll throw something in the air.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Mm. Um. Okay, bam. Where do you think the genre trap music came from? Explain.
Trap music. I think it came from the South, man. Once Master P and Hot Boys and like Lil Wayne and all them. Once they got that doing that, like I ain't a rapper, I'm a game spitter. That's where trap music came in from. That's when it changed from. You ain't have to be a lyrical gangster. You ain't have to be a lyrical rapper. All you had to do was be able to talk some gang. And I think that's where trap music comes from. But you tell me, where you think it came from?
I basically was gonna expound on the same thing. It came from the South. When it started in that era where, just like you said, you ain't had to be a gangster at that point, if you was popping some real shit. But at that time, people knew if you was popping some real shit, you'd be popping some real shit. But then you see on the site, sometimes you got most of the times you gotta be about what you're talking about.
But I meant, I was meaning it was a wave, not a gangster, a lyrical gangster, like between Ice Cube. Like Ice Cube could rap, but he had a gangster persona. Scarface, Tupac, these people could rap. You know what I'm saying? And then once the trap music came in, you didn't really have to know how to rap. You could just have something slick you talking about, and that's where it changed for me. But go ahead.
Oh, word. I was having this discussion with a couple of my people I do music with and stuff. They rap, and this was like a discussion between us because they feel as if I guess the argument is like I guess Ti was the trendsetter of the trap music. quote unquote. And I guess because after the whole "I'm Serious" joint came out, he came out with his trap music, and then nobody pretty much have known of like that itself, or it wasn't called trap music or anything until like Ti saying.
Mm. Yeah, I can dig that. Where you talking about where trap, where it came, the title came from. It might have did start right there with Ti. I could see that too.
Yeah, I could also see your side though, because that makes a lot of sense as well. Because they was basically doing the same shit like before
It's
Ti.
all from the same area. Hell yeah, just different time frames.
Yeah.
Cause like Ludacris wouldn't be considered trap music, but he was down there. Ludacris was more like somebody that was like a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like Luda wasn't a, but he was from down there. But everybody else, you can tell they was from down there in that same style. It originated from Ghetto Mafia. Just one day type in Ghetto Mafia. And that's where the trap, them the first people to do trap music for real, for real. They called Ghetto Mafia. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You
I'm gonna
type
look
in
them up.
Ghetto Mafia. That shit. Hey, it's still relevant to this day though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta put some scissors to this bag. Hold on. Yeah, we might gotta put some scissors to this. Oh, I'm stronger than I thought, man. Let's try it. Oh, there we go. People motherfucking playing basketball and shit. My motherfucking knuckles and shit be fucked up, man.
You jam your fingers up.
Yeah, I mean, not all like that. Not like no, what's his name? What's the bull's name who got a crooked finger, with the weird jump shot? Never mind that part. But yeah, I done stubbed my knuckles and shit to where,
Sean, Sean Marion got a weird ass cricket jump shot. That shit
yeah,
crazy.
Sean Marion, exactly. If you look at his hand, one of his fingers is pointed absolutely the opposite direction. It looks disgusting. I'm like, I would say cut it off if I was him. Like, I don't want my finger pointed like that. That ain't useful. What am I using that finger pointed that way for? I'm just talking shit. But no, still, I probably wouldn't cut it off because that's still part of me. I see where he coming from with it. But no, yeah, my knuckles be messed up, man. When it come to like opening tops and shit like that,
Mm.
or hell yeah, that shit don't work no more.
Right.
It was worth it though on the hooping side. Hooping fun as hell. I can't wait till they open the gym back up.
Right. That's one of the first things I'm gonna do is go ball, man, for real, for real.
Hell yeah, that man, that's the best stress reliever. Especially when you know how to ball and you playing with people that know how to ball. It's a whole different thing. But if you playing with people that don't know how to ball, you might get hurt.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, you'll get hurt. You gotta be like, man, I ain't shooting nothing but jumpers, man. I ain't getting no rebounds. These dudes running around like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell that they don't know how to play basketball.
Yeah.
They might can dribble or something and all that, but I like structured basketball. People saying pick, people, going to the hole when they supposed to and cherry picking when they need to, calling fouls when they got to. Like not just no, I don't know. Basketball dance.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's a whole different like type of competition. This is dope as hell, man. I love it.
Hell yeah. shit fun as hell though.
So where I got it's like two questions. It's like a two question. Where do you think the rap game is heading towards? And do you think the whole hip hop genre side is that kind of like dying off?
Um, no, I think hip hop is resurrecting, right?
Mhm.
But it's like it's still like 4 or 5 years behind. So it's gonna seem like it's dying off, but what's really dying off is people that can't rap. You know what I mean? So first it's gonna change to if you can't rap, people ain't gonna even fuck with it. Right? They ain't gonna care how dope the beat is. They just ain't gonna fuck with it. And then as you can rap, it's gonna go back to all right, well who can rap the best about the topics we wanna hear? And then it's gonna start going back into competition because that's all hip hop is competition. It's
Right.
rap, but it's competition. It's like who the best. That's hip hop. Like who the best DJ, who the flyest b-boy, who sprayed the best graffiti on the train, who said the
Right.
best verse on a song, who you know what I'm saying? It's who like the Raiders, who like the Cleveland Browns, who you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
hip hop. You know what I mean? For that to come back, it got to start being competitive again. And until then, I think we like 3, 4 years behind, but I think that, but that means the cup half full or half empty. You know what I mean? Either way, 4 years from now, all that shit about to be who the best again. You know what I mean?
Right. For me, I think, once the business side get back in order, because the shit is fucked up. Once the business side get back in some sort of order where people are willing to sign a contract or a deal or something or make those deals, um, I think it literally would turn back to the lyrical essence of the better rapper besides the better beat or who got the best hook. You know what I'm saying? Because like I see it for me, like the game is like super watered down with commercial shit, and the authentic shit is just bounced out. Just like you say, it's not. It's like people that can't really rap. They can say some stuff, but can't really rap. Um, and yeah, I agree. We quite a few years behind, about 3 4, maybe 5. But yeah, I think just the business side just got a lot to do with the tempering of the artistry of the artist, because sometimes the artists can't operate how they want to. But yeah, that's yeah. I believe it's on a little comeback. So now you have like, if like people are paying attention, like ever since like the end of like last year, like you got rappers that's like putting shit out now that you was waiting to hear shit for because they got them deals. So now they can operate how they want to, you know. But yeah, I feel it's coming back though, for real, for real. Peace, Newman. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Come on up here on the panel. Welcome, brother. Noon was good.
You have summoned me. I'm here. What's up,
What's
brother?
going on? My bad.
What's good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was on my wine thing last night, man. When I did my live last night, man, I was wasted.
Who the hell what, motherfucker?
I was wasted, man.
You see, I just turned my phone up. I was like, nope, I'm feeling too good. I'm about to get this answer. Nope. Just turned my shit up, bro.
Yeah, I was
But
trying
that,
to.
no, that was a nice stream though, bro. People,
Yeah, it
people
was.
email me. I'm like, yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, you
Like,
know that shit went for 4 hours. I went over 4 hours, man. I had to call off work, man. I woke up late.
that damn Donald Trump, man, I had to leave.
Hmm.
Hey,
And I end up
hey, but no, we be having some. That's what because we give everybody their space and ground, and you know what I mean. That's how you feel.
Yeah,
Everybody in their own cubicle. Like what's real to you might be fake to me. What's real to me might be fake to her. What's real and fake to both of us might not even concern the next one. There's so many
exactly.
different worlds going on at one time, man, that people don't really understand that part.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. I'm gonna get deep into it tomorrow, though, man. I'm gonna schedule it today so that everybody that's subscribed to me or whatever will know what time I'm gonna do it and everything. That way we can have a night. Cause I'm gonna open up the panel probably in the middle of it so we can dive into it together and share information because this gonna be the last installment of the Great Awakening. So I'm putting everything together that I did on the last three videos, and make it a build like that.
That's cool. I don't really know too much about politics though, so I like it. I'd rather sit back and just listen to y'all. You know what I mean? 'Cause you know what I stand on it. I don't fuck with them. But
Well, yeah,
I like to
and
learn some shit.
and what really got me into politics was during the Obama administration. You know what I'm saying? And I just started really studying like executive orders because I'm trying to figure out what our black president. I'm all hyped up for a black president, and I started reading these executive orders and these HR roll numbers and shit, and the laws that's passed through the Senate and the House. And I'm really started digging deep into it. And I mean, people be surprised shit they be sneaking inside those bills and shit and they be getting signed. We might think it's an economic stimulus plan, but when you start going through all the bullet points of what they talking about, you be like, damn, they spending $10 billion on this. You know what I'm saying? They spending 5 million, they giving this to this. You be like, what the fuck? So you really get to see the dynamic of how this fucking government really works. And it's supposed to be for the people, but recently, you know what I'm saying, for the last I don't know how many years it's been for corporations and the rich people. You know what I'm saying? It's been lining their pockets, lobbyists and shit. A lobbyist is a person from a big company that goes to Congress and put money in their hands and they lobby they plan. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call them lobbyists because they be there. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get their agenda pushed through the bills, and they line people's pockets. They give them money, and see, and that's why I'm glad everything going on the way it's going on because a lot of shit gonna change in the next year and a half. It's not gonna be even operating like this, based on what I read and studied.
yeah. Check this out. Y'all know that in 2015, President Obama issued a grant to the level 4 lab in Wuhan. He issued a $3.7 million grant to them,
Yeah, yeah, yep,
the same facility that the coronavirus allegedly came from.
yep. Mm-hmm. That's right. You own it, Chris. You own it. You own it, man. And that's what I'm saying. And then, you know, we've been funding in the World Health Organization. You know what I'm saying? And we've been giving them billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And
National Institute of Health. Yup.
and they've been giving out wrong information about how many other diseases and pandemics that they've been giving bad information about on how to act and roll. And then you got the CDC that's getting their information from the World Health Organization. You know, if we would have got on top of this coronavirus shit when it first came out, it wouldn't have been so bad. You know what I'm saying? Because the coronavirus is real to a point, but it's not as bad as the media is making it out to be. It's just a cold. It's a virus strain. It's like a more powerful form of the flu. And then they just came out and said that sunlight, heat, and humidity kills the coronaviruses on surfaces within a minute. So if you're in the heat, I stay in Texas, you know what I'm saying? So I know ain't no coronavirus gonna be here come summertime. It gets to 105. It's about 90 degrees now. Shit.
Man, it's just like Cali. Cali hot as fuck right now. Like I got my
Yeah.
AC on, bro.
Uh-huh. And then the price of a barrel of oil is at 1 cent. It's at 1 cent per barrel. And Donald Trump just brought $75 million worth of that shit. No, 75 million barrels. That's a lot of goddamn oil. Oil is cheaper than water right now. Ain't that some shit?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just here with my wine and my mugwort, just chilling on the balcony.
That's what's up. You know, Smokers Lounge. Time to fire it up.
You know, that's why I came over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm smoking my mugwort. You know, I know you smoking your good cookies.
Sir.
I mean, I can't find the good shit. I don't be, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got dispensaries in Texas where I'm at where I can go somewhere where I can get some good. Cause I don't like going to random people asking for, you know what I'm saying? Cause
Right.
you don't know if they lacing it, if they putting, cause when I was in Georgia, I used to buy loud and shit, and niggas used to put salt inside the loud to weigh the bags so it'll weigh more. You know what I'm saying? So we was smoking that shit like, damn, this shit salty as hell. My boy thought I was talking about this shit was some bullshit. I'm like, no, taste this shit. This shit tastes like salt. So at the bottom of the bag, I'm thinking it's THC. This some motherfucking salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bro Cook, why don't you come up? He said, bring on the confessions. What the questions at? We kind of started.
All you gotta do is, yeah, tell Cook all you gotta do is come. You know I love questions.
Right.
Cause I got confessions.
Facts.
But it depends on the question though. I might have to plead the fifth.
Right, right.
But
Shit,
yeah,
ain't
I
nothing wrong with
enjoyed that
that.
last night drop. I enjoyed that last night drop. That was cool. Let me get Am.
Yeah, that was dope. That was pretty dope.
That's why I keep looking at you, Brandon. You want to sit over there and get some knowledge? You want to get some wisdom from daddy?
Aaron said he used to live in Texas too, no?
What's that, Cyphers?
Aaron said he used to live in Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in San Antonio.
Nice. What part would you stay in there, Aaron?
I got my little chunky son in my arms right now. What happened to his knee?
Right. Man, it's crazy. Chuck Taylor just came out with a new Chuck Taylor shoe. Basically, they took the Chuck Taylor shoe, they made it leather, then they put some clear shit on the back heel and on the bottom front part of it. and they selling that shit for $120.
You want a pair too?
Yeah, all right, but they ain't worth no $120. Them bitch worth like $50.
Yeah, I mean some Chuck Taylors, man. Come on. I can make a pair of Chuck Taylors. I can refurbish some Chuck Taylors. But I like Chuck Taylors though. They cool.
Yeah, they are.
I remember when. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, cause back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when it was an army surplus store, and that's where we used to get our little. We was young. We about 10, 11 years old. And we used to go get we had a little gang, you know what I'm saying? We was called the Shamrocks. So we had to wear green. So we went to the surplus store and they sold Chuck Taylors there. So we used to go there and get our uniforms, you know what I'm saying? We used to wear them green fatigue and shit with the green pillbox hats. And we used to get the little medals and shit, put them on our head for our rank and shit. Man, we was something else, man. And when I had these marine green fucking Chuck Taylors to go with my hookup, you know what I'm saying? So everybody else wanted to buy them, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else wanted to follow suit. But we was rocking back then. We used to have these sticks and shit. We used to walk around with these sticks. We was about 10, 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? Had our little gang because we was trying to be like the big fellas, you know what I'm saying? You know, because they was called the big rocks, and we was called the Shamrocks. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool though, man. It was cool. You know, it wasn't like they flunkies or something. You know what I'm saying? Because they had niggas doing some crazy shit. That's when I stayed in Detroit. I'm born and raised in Detroit. That's my stomping ground.
Man. Hey, tell me what y'all know about these, man. Y'all rock with them.
Yep.
What's that? I ain't hear you drop.
Those fly as fuck.
Oh, yeah, they fly as hell, nigga. Look, check out these puppies right here, though. What you know about them lavender joints?
Purple. That's my shit. Just a go on my.
No, I'm just No, we got all the joints over here, man. I got the Houston Oilers joints. I got the never mind. What's all that? Cause you know that shit just.
Never mind that. I'm loving that shit. That's me a mic drop every time. You be going in, and then all of a sudden you be like, never mind that part. I be like, no, keep going. Why you stop?
Hey, keep going, nigga.
No, you gotta stop because why keep going? You know, you already opened up the door that you want the people to think in the direction of. You know, they think, you know, as long as it open up that deeper consciousness, boom, right there, bam, all right, boom, it's open. Motherfucker do their own exploring, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As long as you open that door up, that's my only point.
Right.
Like if I say the Titanic when it was sinking, right, and it all was a hoax, right, boom, then I'm like, it ain't no hoax, right? The motherfucker say that. It's cool, as long as I opened up your brain on thinking was it a hoax or not. Like you can go into your own journey. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's all I be doing when I bring a certain type of information. I'm not basing it factual. It's just things that I come across, and I be wanting people to just look into the information for themselves because I might have came across something and I didn't catch it all. I might have missed something, or I might be wrong about something, and you have some information that validate. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, I could get that. I could ride with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind people calling me out if I'm bringing wrong information because what that gives me a segue to go deeper into the information and find where I can find the correct information and bring it back. And so far, I haven't nobody rebutted anything I said yet. You know what I'm saying? And I give all the links, I give all the, all the websites that I get it from. And I'm about to dive real deep into it, and it's gonna be very enjoyable. It's gonna be a real good build, man. I look forward to doing it. I really do. I really do, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's what you want to do, man. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't really know too much about it, so all I would be with is a motherfucker that keeps saying I don't fuck with none of them politicians or governments or none of that shit. So it wouldn't really be helpful. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
if
I
that
hear you.
shit is helpful, then I would be taken away from something helpful. Long as everybody at the same goal that I'm at, I'm not taking
Right.
nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You could think the earth round, but if you're on the same mission I'm on, think it's round. Let's keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? It might be useful later.
Right. Right.
Like that. You know what
Uh huh.
I mean?
Yeah. Because what a lot of people don't know is that there are two constitutions. You know what I'm saying? The first one is the law of the land, but the second one, they took out the 13th Constitution, the 13th Act of the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? They took that out, and so they built the U.S. corporation, not the United States of America, but the U.S. corp, the corporate entity of what we're living under now. We never been out of a state of war since 9/11. You know what I'm saying? We never, when they declared that war,
Since ever.
you know what I'm saying? It never was was never. We never said, okay, this the war is over. You know what I'm saying? We still in a state of war right now. You know what I'm saying? That's
Facts.
pretty much, yeah. And so I mean, we still, and then if people don't know, we've been under martial law. You know what I'm saying? We've been under martial law. We just don't have the tanks and shit out here.
All right.
It just ain't no tanks and things like that. But a lot of our freedoms and our rights have been taken away under the guise of we want to feel safe from terrorism. So we gave a lot of our freedoms away. You know, but we about to
Nah,
take
man,
them bitches back.
we ain't give them away, man. It was like they started passing laws and legislations, and that's what made the pen mightier than the sword. So they just started putting deeds on properties and claiming
Right.
land, that, and the third, and nobody signed up for that but them. Then they made a military to defend it, and that's what's fucking us up right now.
Right. That's right. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
All right. Bro Cook, where you at?
Brother Cook.
He got a question. I'm gonna put it up there on
Nah, Cook can come on up on the damn thing, man. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Nigga, hit the link, nigga. Hold up, bruh. Nah, I'm about to go somewhere quiet though, Chris. I ain't gonna fuck your stream up.
Sure, you good. I'm tripping. Peace, Red Squid. What's going on, brother? Peace, Marvey. What's going on, brother?
Nah, man, make them niggas hit the link, man.
Yeah,
Niggas
y'all need to hit the link.
They gotta put in work. They got us mopping the floor while they eat steak. Come on up, bro. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm just fucking with
Nah, you for real. Come on up.
Hell yeah. I done found myself, man, going to war with like a whole platoon by myself. I was looking at chat and see my peoples. I'm like, God damn, man, hit the goddamn link.
Peace, Strange. How you doing, Goddess? Peace, Nikki, Goddess. How you doing? Oh, there she go. What's good? How you doing?
Coming up here, y'all knew it
Already.
on Wednesday.
What's up, Nikki C?
What's up?
Oh man, I'm just on one this morning, man, y'all, for real.
Yeah, you had a dope build.
Oh, you was there?
I was there for a little bit, then I duck out, then I came back in, duck out because my snakes was getting into shit. So I had to go and tape I had to tape like the parts where they're like, well, they go back inside behind the sink, and they'll hide that. I had to go and tape that up, and I had the tape under the sink, under the cabinet sink, because they'll go through there too. So I was like back and forth.
And what's crazy is like I be diving in and out of videos and videos. Like I might be in the live, right? Might be in the chat for like 25 minutes. Boom, I'll be done dove into some type of other video research and this, that, and the third. Dive back in and dive into somebody else's chat. Like I'm like more like a speed surfer. Like I be like, you know what I'm saying? I be dealing with I'm dealing with too much. I gotta narrow my plate down.
What's up, fam?
What's good, brother?
I can only be on here for a little bit. I thought I was coming on, bless the chat though, bless the panel, my presence, man, while I drift off to sleep. But yeah, I just wanted to come chop it up a little bit. What up, Nikki?
What up?
Noof, what's happening? All my
What's
people.
up, brother? What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm well, man. Man, I just got through listening to a real interesting string with young Pharaoh. And brother Pharaoh, he owned something.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was he building about?
So he was basically he had this lady on there named Judy Mickowitz, and she was talking about, basically she was confirming some things I've already said. And you know, in the past, a lot of people have gotten on Pharaoh because he's actually admitted to he defends President Trump on certain issues, as far as being against Dr. Fauci and the Gates Foundation.
Right.
And we already know about Gates. He's basically been working on some kind of chip to implement and to inject into people with a vaccine, which pretty much is and Nikki, me and you talked about this too, about how he wants to inject basically the vaccine into people, but it's a microchip, and that's like directly aligned with the biblical mark of the beast as far as we're concerned. And anyway, he wants to sit up there. He actually wants to meet with Trump and talk to him about some things as far. So the fact that he said that, it may not sit too well with some black people, but I get where he's coming from. He's like, you know what? Basically, he's coming from the standpoint like, we can bitch and complain and moan about the stuff, or who gonna actually sit up there and talk to this man so we can find out what's the deal. And at the same time, he's well aware of what's going on in the United States as far as racism. He doesn't deny the fact that racism and police brutality and stuff exists, but yet he's also saying it from the standpoint that he wants to take the black community with him. He wants to represent the black community, but he also wants to help everyone else too. And I'm like, you know, this is a whole nother side of Pharaoh I never even realized existed, but I actually sat and listened to him. Like, I think I kind of get it.
Yeah, and Aaron Collins, he actually, I used to watch Young Pharaoh back when he was with Sarnetta, when he first came out.
Yeah, he was with Sarnetta, yeah.
And he was with General Seti, and then he went from that to, he got to being a little too belligerent. You know what I'm saying? It was bitch this, hold this, fuck this, going after people. But now he's getting into a point where he's coming with and interviewing people and bringing information. And I respect his growth. You know what I'm saying? I really respect his growth. He's becoming a grown man with his information. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, can y'all do me a favor? Play the devil's advocate on your own thoughts right now, right? Now say these people ages, right? Say say they control, right? Say everything Trump doing, he just acting like he doing it, but it's somebody else doing it. Now we're gonna call that the here and now. Now just play the devil's advocate right quick and have that conversation on the flip side versus the side you stand on, so you can see why the people have a gripe with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See. The reason why I see that our people have a gripe with President Trump primarily it's for two reasons. He's white and he's a Republican. Those pretty much the two reasons why our people have a gripe with
No,
them.
no, it's
But
about the government. It ain't got nothing to do with none of the puppets in it. Fuck Trump,
okay,
fuck Bush, fuck Obama. We
okay,
saying the structure, the system, and whoever put
yeah,
that in place is who we need to address. That's my stand on it.
yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And that's why I say, that's why I was saying, and that's what I've been trying to put out in my videos about the difference between deep state government and they're the ones that's been pulling the strings since 1917, since the 1917, 1930s. They've been since the inaction of the Federal Reserve Bank. They've been in control over the government. You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, we've been controlled and we've been manipulated and we've been separated on the aspect of an agenda that the elites and the deep state is in bed with. And this is how they want society to go. They want us to be disunited. They want us to be injected. They want us to be indoctrinated. They want us to be vaccinated. They want what they say, um, 1/3 of the population of the earth gone. You know
All
what
right,
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
what do you say? Hey, no, any one of
Stop
y'all.
purging.
Y'all know anything about? Hey, you can. I'm asking whoever was talking. Do y'all know anything about the cabal?
Yeah, the dark cabal. Yeah, I do. I know a lot about it. I've been doing a lot of research on it.
And that's the hand right there. But now it's something controlling them now since they have a name. That's why it's always a secret society. Once we know the name, there's something else moving it. So when people say Illuminati being controlled now, or it's not a secret no more. Once it's not a secret, it's not a secret society. So now we done figured out the cabal. So guarantee you they done moved on to that. But when you get these different labels, that mean their circle is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So now y'all don't want to
Right, right,
Illuminati, the
right.
cabal, to the you know what I'm saying. Now next thing you know, you're just a little dot.
Look, you see that? You see that light in the sky, baby? We up here looking at a ship right now. It's gone now. No,
You know what
man, that
though?
was wild.
Yeah,
Disciples. Hey,
Yeah,
Chris.
What's good?
And you know what though? Like you said, you expect this growth. I do too, because
this,
now I'm at the standpoint where I'm looking at this. If like, say if Trump wanted to sit among us right now and talk to us, let me ask this question: how many people would be sitting willing down to listen to what he has to say? I know it's going to be people to be like, man, that's Donald Trump. Hell no. Why you don't sit and listen to him? Well, I mean,
I
at least
will,
there was
because I got some questions for his ass.
and you know
thank you.
something?
Exactly.
He did sit down with black people. He sat down with Jim Brown. He sat down with Kanye West and a few more people. And it was after he sat down and had a conversation with Donald Trump when he came and did that impromptu rant in
He,
his concert. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
but he sat with people in the entertainment industry. He didn't sit
Yeah,
with regular
Hey,
black.
Chris, let me cut you off for a
I
minute.
agree. I
Do
agree.
you
I
know a
agree.
bipolar troller?
man, y'all know Trump scripted, man. Trump ain't say nothing that he wasn't told to say since y'all ever heard him talk. And y'all know that. So quit playing.
Let me cut y'all off for a minute. Do you know a bipolar troller is sitting
Yeah,
in the
he's
chat?
yeah, he is. He is.
Oh, okay, just want to
That's
know
plant
if
based.
you knew this person. Oh, all right.
That's plant based.
Oh,
That's
okay.
who that is. See, and then what a lot of people don't understand, you know, we have to understand not only what's going on here on the material plane, but also what's going on in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? It's a shift going on right now. It's pretty much a consolidation or a change in rulership of things. We're getting away from the old paradigm. We're not, and I be telling people, I try to tell people, we are not. This is not 2020. We are in 2012, according to the Ethiopian calendar and also the Mayan calendar. You know what I'm saying? We're not. This is not 2020, but we're in an age of a shift change where the solar energy, the light pulse that's coming in is more intense. You got stars and bodies of light out there that's transmitting a certain amount of spectrum of energy. You have black holes that's popping up all over the universe, and everything is happening for a reason. So we have to not only trust our intuition, you know what I'm saying, but also trust things that's behind the veil and know that everything is happening for a higher purpose. We all vibrating on a higher frequency right now. And that's why we have these conversations. We're not talking about mundane shit no more. We're talking about things that actually impacting our lives, you know, so I think that's important.
That's what's up. So
Just like when I get into the Nestor Gesser Act, you know what I'm saying, and get into the quantum financial system, you know, and get into the alliance and the wars that's going on underground, and we're going to be able to see whose side is on whose side, and who is for the people and who is for the elite. You know, the way I look at Donald Trump is the way I look at him. You know what I'm saying? I look at him as a person that
Do
has to
you
play.
think? Do you think Donald Trump is gonna ever have to run into the basement of your house when this shit go down? Hell no. So he's not gonna be in the fire. So once we know you're not gonna even be in the fire, why the hell would I listen to this motherfucker? This motherfucker
Okay,
gonna been safe, sound with his whole family living exactly how he living now.
right.
Why we're getting pillaged.
Okay. Now think about this. When Barack Obama was elected, you had niggas out here crying, and he ain't do shit for the black community. You couldn't sit down with Barack Obama. He ain't passed no type of legislation to help
That's why I
anybody.
said
But
fuck all them.
hold on, drop. But then he gave us a stimulus check that wasn't over $300. You know what I'm saying? But this man gave everybody stimulus checks. If you owe child support, it went to your child support arrears and anything. But you got $1,200 and $500 per kid. I got the proof that they sent what they sent to me. You know
I
what I'm
can say
saying? That
thank
I
you,
actually got it.
but I can say thank you and fuck you at the same time. I don't mean you cool. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
but
like good looking,
I
bro.
hear you.
Where that ADOS payment at? Where the reparations at? Why the fuck
Okay.
y'all? You see what I'm saying? So just because he did that, I got more questions about where this money at as far as the stimulus check. We're supposed to be getting this
Yeah.
for the last 10 years, bro.
Right.
Period.
And I
Is
agree
it
with
working
you.
or not? Right.
But the
So
thing
I ain't
is,
gonna let him
but
pass on it because he
but
gave.
but look, but
Man,
look, the thing is that, and this is where I look at my people at. What are we doing? What actual measures are we taking as a people to form some type of blueprint plan that we can take to the government or take to the UN? We're not doing that. We're not. How are we organizing for our ADOS was a psyop because they ain't doing nothing. Instead of arguing back and forth between Hebrew Israelites and all this shit, that's all they doing. They're not coming with no sound information, no legislation, no laws where we can go inside of the laws and pull that shit out and throw it in their face. Because that's how we got to fuck them over with paperwork. Because that's how they run with paperwork. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
good point there, Nu. You definitely got a good point there. I wanted to piggyback on what you just said because one thing I noticed about us as a people, well, actually, I've known this for a while, that as a people, we're some of the most complainingest, most bickeringest people on the planet, but yet we do very little action to get stuff moving. We don't strategize, we don't organize, we don't do none of that. But we real quick to bitch, and some more bitching when something go wrong. And then
Right.
when paperwork is set beside for us to do something, you still want to complain, and then till it's too late. And then when the shit starts falling into play, then we want to start doing something. But it's too late. Because
Yeah.
anytime when the person came by with the message to do something, you laughed at him. You talked about him saying he a sellout, saying he this and that, trying to be white. But then when you start seeing the shit unfold before your own eyes, then you start to see what he was talking about. But once again, it's too late.
But I tell y'all what, on my part, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do my best to do this. I'm going to try to get in contact with the president of the United States and have a conversation. See if I can have a conversation with this motherfucker, or even if you answer a letter or a tweet, anything. So we can start to have a conversation or a dialogue with this president. Because I understand the frustration of the people, but what the people have to understand is that we have to have a plan. The Jews, they had a plan. The Italians, they had a plan. All these nationalities, they had a plan. Even the Mexicans, they have a plan. But what we become what you would call the epitome of useless eaters out here in this world stage because we're not doing anything for self.
Hey,
When Elijah Muhammad came with it, when Elijah Muhammad came with it, that with his program, everybody was like, well, I ain't about to stop eating pork. I ain't about to do this. But he had a plan. Farrakhan, whatever the fuck this nigga at right now, he's a fucking agent. He's a fucking agent.
hey, don't
I don't
forget,
even think
don't,
that's Farrakhan no more. I think he's a goddamn clone.
He's
don't forget the Filipinos, right? The Filipinos, they got a plan. You know,
Exactly.
Manny Pacquiao is their plan, right?
yeah.
And that's how they going coast along. And don't forget Okinawa, because there's some motherfuckers out there with real old numbers. So they got a plan. And a motherfucking Elijah Muhammad was an agent. But anyways, never mind all of that.
Oh, you did a stir drop. You did a stir drop. Never mind that though.
I'm gonna get better with it. Watch.
Go ahead, man.
But what y'all think about the pole star? Or yeah, that might be kind of sideways though, for real. Like but that's what I want.
Polaris.
Yeah, that one.
I think that's where that's where the source of energy comes from. That's what I think. That's where the sun gets its energy. That's where everything comes from. That's just my belief. I think that's the that shit don't move. It's always right there, all the time.
Word up. What about everybody else? What y'all think about that? If y'all have any ideas on that.
What's that? I didn't get what you were saying. I didn't hear what you said clearly.
The pole star.
The pole star, the North Star.
I don't think they're the same.
Polaris.
Yeah.
Okay. From what I understand is that what I understand from that star or that heavenly body is that it's more to that because it always, of all the stars in the constellation and everything, it stays in that same spot. I would have to postulate or come to my own rational thinking is that it's a reflection of something else because it stays in that one spot all the time.
And I say that's why they say you come from stardust because of Polaris. But go ahead.
Well,
I'm not familiar with what the pole star is.
I'm sorry, what you said, Aaron?
I'm not familiar with the pole star.
The pole star is Polaris. That's what it's called, or the North Star. That's what it's commonly
Oh, the North
called.
Star. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay, I've heard it referred to as that Polaris. Oh, okay. That's what you were talking about. All right.
Okay, a great picture or a thing to do if you're not too familiar is Google time lapse of the night sky, right? And it will show you like all the constellations. They give you this swirly picture of the stars in motion, right? And it's like it's kind of like looking down a tunnel or a funnel, right? And then the Polaris is like right there in the middle, and it's the stationary star for the most part. What you say, Nikki?
Time lapse of what?
Time lapse of night sky.
Okay.
And so you should get some pictures that show this funneling of the stars going around, and in the middle would be where the pole star is.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thoughts about it is that when you see these cosmological maps that show that a lot of flat earthers use to back up their bullshit, right? And they always have it, whereas
The earth flat, bro.
it's funny because people like Host Sanchez, and is there anyone else? I don't think there's no flat earth community. That's
Man,
because
I'm flat earth,
don't get
bro.
bad.
Hold on.
Listen, I'm just want. You know what? I pissed on him on purpose because I know that's your man's.
I don't care about that. I'm just talking about the flat earth part. I'm saying, yeah, I don't think this shit no ball, but when you say flat earth, you really here's what you're saying. Listen, a true flat earther is saying this. We don't know what this shit is.
And that's fine. Like the Flat Earth Society has been put up just in case people wanted to grow a brain and think it wasn't a globe. But the Earth is neither a globe or flat. But anyways, right? The cosmology that is used to even try to talk about the firmament dome, even they clearly show that there's a place at the top, right, where it got a little island separated with a little water, with a little hole that come down to where we are and shit. Like when you look at the little Vedic jiffies, it's like the abode where Krishna, who is the Godhead or the Supreme Personality in the incarnation or physical form or whatever have you, that's where he chillax at. Like my point is that all these little maps of what the cosmos look like, they always have it to where this pole star area is the abode of the Most High. Like when you look up the Hebrew jiffies, they be like the throne of God, right? And it's funny that people who deal with cosmology, they never address this, right? They never address these things. Isn't it funny that you ain't never heard someone say, I know all about the cosmos. I know all about why the ancestors said this and said that. I know what the shape of the earth is. So today, let's talk about this fucking spot that's supposed to be the abode of the Most High. You see how these people ain't never touch on that. Why is that? Because they're agents. They don't believe in the Most High, and they scared to even touch on that type of shit. Right?
And that's absolutely fact. The point is, we can scratch all that and just go off our own experiences, right? And just our own logic. There's no way you would think this shit was anything but perception if we never were indoctrinated with a flat earth nor a globe earth. We would just think of it as vision, and you will always know the further I move, the more I see. And that's the secret. And I ain't gonna say it again, but I gave y'all the jump, bottle it up.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But I brought it up because I think it's interesting. I think that a lot of people who claim to bring information have tiptoed and tap danced around this specific topic. And I mean, it's like, I bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because for people that don't believe in God, they would have to realize, attack or address what these ancient depictions of what that was, because it's always a place where the deity's foot is at, basically, right? Either his throne, his house, his abode, his footstool, right? So it's like, I don't know. Me, I like to listen and to information and YouTube videos, and sometimes it's like, like, why the fuck y'all never even talk about that? But this ain't for them.
And
This is for y'all.
let me ask you a question, Squid. You believe in one God, right?
I believe in one deity.
One deity, right? So what would you call all the other deities? Like in the Bible, it said, the Most High God created gods and goddesses, lords and lordesses. The gods and lordesses said, let us make man in our image, right? Boom. So now we know something made the gods and goddesses, right? So the one deity that you talking about is the one that made them. What would you call them that they made? Us?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you know what? To be honest, lordesses, I only heard from you, but I appreciate the input because it makes a balanced sense. But that is a tricky thing. Lord God, Lord of spirits, the Most High, Heavenly Father. It can get kind of convoluted. True, but I believe that that the height of a person in their actions, they could be like a god in the sense of a creator, like a creator of babies, a creator of things, basically a point of having power over others, right? Because, it'd be people that have power over others that feel like God people, God man, a God woman, a God or a goddesses. It's like if they didn't have anybody to compare themselves to, they would just be regular meatballs. But when you got people on their little high horse and all this other shit because of whatever, whether it be power or spiritual aptitude or, intelligence, that kind of changed that dynamic, and ego would place them in a category where they would call themselves something like that, or they would seek to be revered for something like that. Now, part two to that would be that in the early stages of existence, I believe even now, I think that personalities are attributed to elemental things, right? So it'd be like, I wouldn't say God of the wind, but if there was a personality that had a consciousness that was predominantly about wind, or its purpose was to, like, if wind can experience itself, and if the Most High happened to choose to have an embodiment somewhere where this is the wind experiencing flesh or in the body, which is possible. Like, these things could be characterized as gods and things like that, but that's a spiritual thing, really. And I don't think that they ever manifested in the flesh that way. And when people call themselves gods, typically they just fucking tyrannical scientists and type shit like that. So I do think that it could be seen as some trickery in the scriptures, the way it's written, when it's be like, let us create man and woman in our image and shit like that. I think that it's such a possibility that it could go either way. It could be the polarity within the one deity that would include masculine and feminine, said, let us have this happen. Or it could be that the ancestors who were intelligent said, let's make some clones.
Listen, bro. The only way you can be the Most High if you came from nothing, right? Anything else that came from something, whether it's the word, whether it's what we call it, whether what it is, it came from something. The Most High is what, because you're always gonna say, all right, who created Jesus? All right, God created it. Who created God? Okay, well then what created that? Then what created that? Then what created that is the Most High. Is what I be saying. Now, when it comes to a God, yeah, you can be born a God. You can come from the direct blood of Jesus. Jesus is the pure blood spirit line from the Most High. That's why he said, "I'm a God. I'm just living flesh." But I really came down here to holler at y'all. But he still had sex and he still had remnants that they don't speak about. And there's people that come from that direct bloodline. You understand what I'm telling you? So, of course, there's people that's on a higher level than other people across the plane of the sphere. You know what I'm saying? And when I say sphere, I mean the atmosphere is round. It's a bubble. But what's inside of it, it's like your eyelid if we make it three-dimensional. And your pupil is where we live on the top of it. And your eyeball is what the world is. You see what I'm saying?
So when I hear this God, right? Remember the story in the Adam and Eve. The serpent said that if you take of this fruit, you will be like gods, right? So you'll be knowing good and evil. And so when people let's say Christ, when he said ye are gods but would die like men, it's really saying that it's like, look, you have the ability to have great demonic powers or spiritual powers, but if you think you a God like what God is, and you here in the flesh with limits, then it's a joke on you, because God, the Most High, don't have to die like a man. It's not a requiem, but if anyone is here in the flesh, they definitely will, right? So it's a matter of, it's like wordplay. Like a motherfucker become president, now he think he God. And so for the most part, I think the Most High's influence is all that appeared to man or any type of existence since the beginning. I don't think that the physical, like a physical representation of the Most High or his big ass sandal on earth had ever made no appearance, but the influence of the Most High is what typically either make people pious or make them goddamn demonic. And that's what we, I think, deal with, right?
All right, back to the serpent, man. Now listen, when the serpent said eat the fruit, right? That was a motherfucker thinking with his dickhead, right? So he ate the fruit and he mixed with the goddess. Everything comes from the vaginal, right? So once the serpent mixed with the goddess, right, that was sent from the Most High, it created a hybrid, right, which is us. This is why you got Adam and you got atoms, right? And when they say Adam, they like, nah, bro, you the one that mixed, you the first motherfucker that mixed with the goddess, right? And that was and that's where they start time from, right? This is where time comes from, because nobody know the exact time of what nothing is for real. They just started. Never mind that. But listen, now, once he ate the fruit, you think that's some masculine shit? No, once he ate that box out and had sex with that goddess, they had a baby. I believe the baby was who? Noah, was it Noah? Who was their baby that had Cain and Abel? Whatever, they baby had Cain and Abel. This is how Cain was able to lead the village, right? And get married, right? Because there was Adams out there already, but they didn't have sex with no goddess. You understand where this is coming from? When they told you he sent Adam, really, Eve was the fallen angel, the diva, the I don't want to say the devil, but that's where it comes from. Now, boom, once that diva and that atom mix, boom, it had a us. Now we smarter than the animals. We weren't smart. We not smarter than the animals. We have decision over the animals, dominion, in other words. But before that spark right there, we was Tarzan for real. We was really, when nobody literally.
No, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't side with Tarzan because a human baby can't survive in no jungle. Like naked humans.
No, I'm not talking about how Tarzan arrived. I'm talking about how humans was living before they made us.
Well, that's the thing. They definitely, to make somebody, you got to be somewhat intelligent and have devices to create Adam and Eve, which they did. And they had them in a little separate place where they could study and watch them in care. But once that project was contaminated, then the research was no longer going to produce fruitful data. So they was kicked out of the garden.
But that's not true. They never stopped doing it. We having indigo children right now. They study.
Well, all that indigo. Listen, I don't want to listen. The whole thing with the serpent and the fruit is just basically a concept that's kind of saying that, we learn it by saying, not everything that's pleasing to the eye is good for us. Right. And so it's kind of like a lesson like that to know good from evil doesn't necessarily know to say to know the difference between good and evil. Like they say, you will know good and evil. You'll be like gods. That don't say you'll know the difference between good and evil. And they definitely wasn't gods, now were they? Because thousands of years later, Christ is like, y'all be gods if you want to. You're going to die like a man anyway. So it's like the concept is like, the person saying you will be like us, right? That's kind of like what the serpent said. You're going to be like us. You're going to be like gods too, right? If you do the same shit, or if you do this or you do that. So it's like this serpent is the representation of influence that will fuck somebody's data up if they try to incorporate what they're telling you, right? Or what that is representing. So from the beginning, when it's just a snake, to the end, when it's a dragon, it's like this concept of the reptile, or that lower part of your brain will always get a motherfucker in trouble if he do not try to higher his consciousness and get his vibrations up past that low level gutter mind type shit. Here.
Oh, and now look, let me sum it up. The bull said the lower part of your brain, right? And then he said that gutter type shit, right? And then you put the spine that connects to the lower part of your brain, and you get the snake, you get the reptile as you crawl on the gutter. Oh, that was cheap. That was a mic drop, Squid.
Thank you, bro. It was a great bill. I appreciate it.
Shout out to the brother Red Squid.
Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, man. That Bible, man, that should always like get a nigga heart and brain moving.
Let me help y'all out with the Bible, because I really I be bouncing through the Quran, the Bible, and all type of other books. But listen, here's how you get to the bottom of the Bible. You study the people that been studying the Bible, and you study their books, and then you add your thoughts to it.
Y'all still here?
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
You're breaking up, Drop.
Study them scholars that feel how they feel about the Bible and compare it to how you feel about the Bible, and you'll get another understanding of the Bible, and that should keep flipping. So when you study the Bible, say you study in the book of Enoch, right? study a motherfucker that studied the book of Enoch and listen to their audio book. So you can hear what the hell they got out of it and compare it to your thoughts, and then you know what I mean? And it just keeps migrating. But go ahead, my bad for the background.
The Book of Enoch is fun, definitely.
Right now, you know how you would get something out the book of Enoch, right? And you would share it. But then you would research somebody else and see what they got out the book of Enoch and research it. Then you would read what somebody else think. Boom, then now you got like a diamond shaped thought. And you thinking like, well, yeah, I'm still on my thoughts, but they changed it a little bit with this. And that's how you purify your thoughts by watching scholars of whatever topic it is. I don't care if you're trying to learn how to draw. You look up the scholars. You want to learn how to hoop, look up the scholars. You want to learn how to rap, look up the best. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, man, you'll see how much that Bible is just it's just endless. It never ends. Always opened up to more topics. That's why they never had to rewrite it.
Yeah, you can still learn from it. Like I read the Bible first in 2000. You know, and it's like, what's this, 2020? And so maybe a couple of weeks ago, I was what the fuck was I looking at? I was looking at something, and it said that, I think I was reading something, and it said Baal, Baal, was a moon god. And so this could be a discrepancy on my behalf for not doing the research, but you know, I've heard of Baal, and I heard of, you know, Beelzebub. I heard of all that before, but I never correlated it with a moon god. So when you look at it from that perspective, like using that keyword, then all the times that the scriptures spoke about or spoke out against what Baal was talking about the moon. And y'all know that's my favorite little.
And that was the free energy. The Beelzebub is when they crack the Liberty Bell, and it's the bell. And
Joe said that.
Go ahead,
well,
no, that was my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just talking about the Beelzebub, and you know, that's the free energy they harnessing right now, and they trying to make it like some negative shit so we don't tap into.
Beelzebub is a fucking demon, yo, or a Satan.
I know it's all energy. That's all demons and angels is energy. But listen,
they're not energy. They are like parasites to energy. They can give a person ability, but the trade is the person.
Physical. It's not tangible. Let me say that. You can't touch it. You can't grab it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you.
So now, boom, now Beelzebub harness this free energy that's running over it. It's not even like Satan. Satan chilling just like the Most High chilling. It's the polar opposite. We ain't saw none of them yet. Ain't nobody saw Satan. Ain't nobody saw the Most High yet. You're not gonna see it because they both of them say, if you see me, it's because you're dead. Even in the Bible, when he say, you look at me, bro, you're dead, bro. You can't even survive if you look at me. So now we know we only can see you in a celestial state, right? So boom, once we understand celestial is energy, then we understand good versus evil. Then you understand the angels versus the demons. Then you understand the two shoulders. Then you understand why the heart on one side. Then you understand why the brain in the middle. Then you understand the brain is the deceiver because it don't choose no sides. It persuades each side of you. So then you understand the two eyes, the two nostrils, but the one mouth to get them motherfuckers together to say what you want to say. Then you go down, you see the two lungs, you see the two kidneys, you understand, you see the two intestines, you see the two ovaries, you see the two balls, But you see the one dick, you see the one. No, you see the 2 feet. No, I'm telling you, man. This is chromosome splitting.
Yo, that's a
Never mind.
mic dropper, man. It ain't dropped yet, but go ahead. I fucks with all that you just said. Word up.
Oh yeah, no, I was cool. I was bad. I just
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
that's what's up. That's heavy. That's heavy. Like that's like the polarity that we live in is literally a part of our anatomy. Right. And so that's pretty cool. You know, you know, the human body is definitely interesting. My personal belief on the human body is that it was brought about. I think spiritually, it's always been that way, like a literal God body. But I think that the process that it appeared in the flesh was brought about through through changes and even ultimately diabolical thinking from even a possible negative source. But it's like the fruition. It's like, listen, I want to create a charity, but I want to use the criminal world, the underworld, the mafia to do it. But I'm not going to tell them that. I'm just going to go to each of them and tell them to give me your drug, prostitution, and blood money for this thing. Right. And, they invest in that. And, they want to see results for whatever the thing is. And it so happened to be the body that is, is something that Most High had already planned. But in their head, they think that this is due to their diabolical genius, that their scientific prowess was able to bring this about on their own for the first time. But I think it's all part of the Most High's plan. So this would be like you creating a clone, and then or a new body type, and then the spirit realm just go ape shit because this is the God body, but these motherfuckers is grotesque and little goddamn hobbits and shit. You know what I mean? So there you have the jinn. It's like, yo, we jealous over this shit here. We made a flame and shit, but we ain't never had a body like this. So it's the desire for demons to like be all about us, right? Because it's kind of like living in heaven or living in something that's heavenly, right? And it's like, fake paradises on earth, people could just lose their shit and think that the world is great. So it's almost a struggle over a body type, kind of, because the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and you're just not going to fuck a 3-legged, 8-eyed, half spider, half donkey, right? And so that's going to get killed. It's going to be eaten. It's going to be sacrificed. And this is pretty much how life has been in the earth. If that shit ain't attractive, if it's not beneficial, then it better stay the fuck away from me, or we just going to get these motherfuckers out of here, right? But now we in the flesh in this body, and it's like, look, we got motherfuckers falling in love. You got people going into lust and shit, It's all interesting.
That's what's up. Anybody else got anything to elaborate on that? Okay.
Hold on, here you go.
No disrespect to any 8-eyed, 3-legged, half spider, half donkeys if they out there.
Oh man, let me hear this, man. All right. Go ahead. Hey, all right. Let's talk about now God, well, we know God. Excuse the background. If God talked to somebody, or the Most High talked to somebody and had them write the tablets or the scriptures or the Bible or whatever, right? We know he had to talk to them from what type of entity. This how we know the Most High is not tangible, right? This how we know, all right, now what he put his energy into is the gods amongst us. This is why people can say, I'm God. But if they say they're God, but not acknowledging something greater than them, then that's the problem. It's when you know that I'm from this source. I'm a God, and I know it's a Most High. And once you understand the Most High is the spirit that moved the bones of Jesus, that made him able to walk, you can understand what I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying? So now that entity, that thing that possesses your spirit is evil or good, and the Most High was in that spirit as Jesus. You see what I'm saying? If you can grab it, but I don't know.
I see exactly what I understand exactly what you're talking about, Squid. But I mean not Squid, but Sir Drop. I understand exactly what you're talking about. But go ahead, bro, because you on one right now. You really picking pulling them layers of that onion apart.
No, I'll be listening to them. They're the ones open my brain up to this shit, man, because they real dope as hell with that Bible, man. They'll open it up and they get talking about that shit, man. Like, real to get to talking about Leviathan, this, that, and that. I mean, they be opening it up for real, and I don't really open it up. You know what I'm saying? I just do a lot of brain picking. And I opened that shit up in like 2000. You know what I'm saying? I got baptized, the whole thing. I'm surrounded in a pool. I'm in this pool. It's surrounded. It's like some type of ritual, right? They got me under the water. I came up. Now, the only thing that changed in my life when I did that is everything I did wrong was magnified. If I told a lie, magnified. If I anything, you know what I'm saying? But before I got that, man, that's why I went, because I was about to kill a motherfucker. And I'm like, man, hold on. These demons is acting weird, right? Because normally my demons protect me. They don't just be attacking motherfuckers. So now I'm like, all right, boom, let me go on to church, right? I go to church and I'm listening to the pastor. I'm like, yeah, I get it, this, that, and the third. But you know, since you're the new guy in the church, the pastor talked to you for 4 weeks.
Exactly. You right.
Straight, you like, man, let me dip you under that water, bro. And he dipped me under the water. I came up, bro, and it was hard. Like you would have to literally be wrong for me to do something to you negative. You know what I mean? It wasn't even in me no more. It was just like, wow, I ain't gonna do it.
Right.
But before that happened, it's like, fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Water magic is definitely stronger than blood magic, right? As far as cleanliness concerned, like, you say demons, and it's like, the root to that word is daemons, and daemons was the general word for spirits in general, whether they was good or bad. So earlier you were talking.
That's right.
You was talking about. All right. You was talking about the size of the body, the polarities, and things like that. And so the people that constructed their way of language, they not only created words, but they also, they use words to create these images like you described, with the devil or that demon on one side and the angel on the other side. These are your choices, though, right? As a person. And so if we go back to the root word of daemons and how they're just spirits, it's like, you have categories that you will deal with. We as people are born with a soul. We have spiritual capacities. We have spirits, right? Like a spirit, right? And so it's like, there are spiritual things, right? That are made in the spirit realm and don't have no flesh, right? That because that's where they come from. And this is going to the concept of what the angels were, where they had angelic posts. They had reasons to be in existence, right? As an extension of the Most High. And so just like the flesh, these personalities and intelligences that had consciousness, but that was from the soul or from the spirit realm, they too went through the shit that people in the flesh went through, right? It's like, I'm not just going to throw my workers in the flesh through the through the ringer, but a lot of these spiritual intelligences also
So you saying ain't
need
nothing
a reality check,
you
right?
saying
Because they don't have, they might be spiritual, but the way they're viewing the flesh might be off a little bit. So there might be a need for interaction or some type of incorporation to balance out ancient fucking consciousness that might be like, they need a reality check is what I think it all kind of add up to.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that for this very reason. Everybody gonna go through some bullshit. So rather, like you said, you on a higher round, you call yourself this, that, and the third, and you is on that round. You're still gonna go through bullshit just like everybody else. It ain't like it's gonna be different for you just because. Yeah, I can dig that shit.
And I think it get worse after you become aware of a spiritual concept rather than a religious one. And the reason why I say this because religion is indoctrination, and spirituality is actually living through the soul and the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So when you actually, and I'm just speaking for myself because I do spiritual work. I am a spiritualist. I don't believe in religion at all. I actually frowned upon it, because I believe that there's a truth in everything that's been revealed from every branch of study when it comes to spiritualism or spirituality. So when we put ourselves in the box and say, okay, this what I'm gonna follow and this what I'm gonna do, you put yourself inside of a box and you compartmentalize that which you believe or what you think or what they done fed into your head as the Most High or God is. You know what I'm saying? But when you are actually walking in the spirit and you actually away from the chatter and the noise of this is the law, this is how it's supposed to be. You came in this you came into this world, into this existence alone without a book, without a Bible, without none of that, without even a spiritual practice. So when a person indoctrinates you with education, religion, and politics, you understand what I'm saying? You get caught into that mode where it's like you in a zombie state of mind, and your spiritual etheric body isn't getting its necessary energy because you was born to be free. You weren't born to be trapped inside of a box. And that's what this new age that we're going through right now, the age of Aquarius, the Great Awakening, is awakening ourselves in our soul too, and our spirit, is that we have to begin to realize that there is no box, there is no spoon to bend. The only thing you bending or you putting or trapping yourself is your own box, which is your head, which is your mind. But when you allow your mind to truly explore everything that's out here to teach you about what spirituality is, that's when you become free.
Hey, you know what's a good exercise for people? I think it might be a good exercise. Is like, you could maybe put the God thing down for a second, right? Like worrying about that. Like if a person really can comprehend what the definition of deity is, right? Then it should not be so fucking confusing after that. You should just be able to recognize what what a false God is, what a lower G God is, right? And see that shit repeat over and over again through all these fucking stories around the world and all that type of stuff. Like once you get the concept of what the deity is, like all everything shit, right? Then everything else is just like, play with words. So, if you could put that aside for a moment, then, and it's interesting to see ancient cultures or, these so-called religions and their aspects when they speak upon spirits, right? Just like look up Asians and what the fuck they think spirits is, right? Look up, I think the brother mentioned Zoroastrianism and see what they say spirits is. Look up the Hindus, look up the Nordics, look up the Africans, look up the Indians in America, and everyone has a type concept or belief in the spirits or the spirit realm and things of that nature, right? And it's like, you want to hear what you would hear in Islam, that, here are the jinn, you have some that's good, you have some that's bad, and they just, I don't know, play with people's feet and shit when they go to sleep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one common denominator everyone can agree with, that there's a belief in spirit or an existence of things that don't have flesh, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, if you do that, then you would see how much the Most High is not in their life, period. Because they seem lost like a motherfucker. Like, who the fuck still looking for 7-Eleven in the spirit realm? Like, I would just fly as far as I can go until I reach that. Yeah, it's like, it's not that complicated for me. But you have a lot of life that have came and gone on this earth. And a lot of them might not ever have an inkling of how to connect to the deity or the importance of that. And so to me, that's like, you just have a whole bunch of transient ghosts and spirits and shit, all just bumping around, just doing nothing, right? Trying to flicker a flashlight or say, get out in the motherfucking recorder or some shit. Like, that's just like waste of time shit. Now, you in the flesh, is that the type of fucking existence you want to plan for yourself? That when you leave the flesh, by any chance, your ass gonna be bumping around, arguing for attention with these other motherfuckers? That shit don't make no sense. So it seemed like a connection to the source should be a primary goal, here, now, and after.
Right, and I agree with you. But at the same time, nobody have ever came back to record what happens after we transition. So what I try to get a lot of people to understand as far as spirituality is that we came here to experience and have a personal journey to raise up a type of vibration within us. Some people call this the Christos. You know what I'm saying? The Christ energy, the Christ consciousness. Jesus Christ was one who had that energy. Christ isn't so much of a name, it's more or less of a title. You know what I'm saying? He was one with the Father because he understood more about this mystery that we all trying to crack than anybody else. And that's why he is so revered, because he gave us understanding of these mysteries through these gospels that other men wrote of him. You understand what I'm saying? So in order for us to reach a certain level, because Jesus never came with a religion, he never came with a book, he came with a vibration and a frequency to teach people about a certain mystery or a certain understanding that we was lacking. See, I might not be religious, but I read that book. You know what I'm saying? I tap into that Christ energy because everything deals with a certain understanding or a certain consciousness of what we personally, as a person, have a connection with what we consider as the Most High or God or anything, but man put name on that. But once you get to an understanding or a connection with that energy, then anything that somebody tells you becomes null and void because you at that point and you begin to teach people or you try to begin to get people to understand or you speak in parables so they can understand. You know what I'm saying? And my main question is this: if we are all supposedly supposed to be seeking or trying to find out where we lie in this cosmic game or this whatever we want to consider it as, the matrix or whatever, why are we so concentrated upon proving another person wrong instead of allowing a person to
Because that
express
shit is
or
fucking deep.
express or come into that consciousness within themselves
Who
and
got
just
time to wait?
accept it?
Like really? Like who got time to wait? You have to make your own
But
time
what
to
is
wait.
time? What is time? What is
What is
time?
time? It's
Yeah, what
about
is it?
listen. I got 10% of my
It's a human
It's only a
construct.
matter of time before this
It's a
shit
human construct.
go
That's
out.
all it is. It's a
Listen, it's
human
a human
construct.
construct, but listen, we are bound by time and space, regardless if you're keeping it or not, because it's a part of nature. So it's not like because you don't care what time it is, time don't stop because that's how you think about shit. I got 10%.
So that's not it.
It's
That's not it, brother. I'm just saying that
listen,
things move in cycles. Things move in cycles of time, not in minutes
okay.
and seconds. Not, hold on,
Nobody, right?
I'm
That's
trying to
fine, but
explain something.
nobody got that shit mapped. Nobody knows what the fuck it really is, even though they can comprehend that this shit might be a clock and things look like they go in seasons, shit like that. But no one can predict what is to come because nobody had to live long enough or was inspired since the beginning to keep record because that's not even what you're supposed to be doing. It's like you want to keep you know what people would do if they knew what the fuck time it was and what was coming next. They're going to manipulate everybody else and keep that shit fucking secret and have us look stupid as fuck because we don't know what time it is. So let's just be wary of that. Now let's go to
The
your
only
card.
thing,
Let's go to your
like I
card
said,
that you have us.
I gave a question,
Oh, what was your question?
and I'm trying to figure out because how are we? Why is it that when we all is on our own separate paths, we are all on the path. I mean, being human is separated from the soul, and the spirit, and the spirit is separate, and the soul is separated from the spirit. Those are three different things that's on a vibratory rate within the universe, and
Okay.
it's proven based upon molecular
Okay,
quantum
that's fine.
physics and all of that. It's I asked the question, and the thing is, I'm trying to figure out why is it that we cannot accept a person's journey or a person's interpretation of their spiritual practice or their
Because we don't
spiritual
have to.
knowing.
No one has to. Let me just answer. No one
So
has to. Really.
it's not about respect. It's about, okay, since I don't believe what you believe, I'm gonna drop a bomb on your country because you a Muslim and I'm a Christian. That's what I'm saying.
Because you don't have to. It's not a record that you respect anything. You could say fuck everything, right? And typically, when people think they know something and they hear something that somebody else says, they don't agree with it or they don't think they know, then it's a matter of their tolerance level of how they're going to carry the shit. And so typically, the motherfuckers just bump heads or get into argument debates and shit like you just said, right? But you know, people being on their own path, that's nice because it's true. But when it comes to information, right? Like the shit gets more
You
now.
going in and out, Squid. I can't hear you going in and out real bad. It's like
Okay,
you breaking up and shit.
sorry. So information, the path is more narrow, depending on what the fuck you want. And so you have less options in this world of lies when you narrow down the accuracy. You know, there's fun things like that card that you showed last night, the integration and the word Christ, which is a lot like crystal, right? And
It is
then
crystal.
right, and then the
Yeah.
Diamond Sutra, which is, you know, represented or claimed to be one of the first books ever, right? You know, and the fact that the earth is literally made out of rock crystal. So when you talk about like all of these things come together, like you could be on a path for a long time and then you come across some new shit or a different way of looking at the same thing, right? And it's about frequencies and all this other type of shit too, dimension and all that. But like, who the fuck want to go through the time of numbering, naming, and mastering all the different dimensions within a diamond? That shit is like trying to map infinity. So eventually, people is going to have to just, you know, be upon that middle way where it's
And
like
that's
you're not
and that,
trying to learn everything, but you
and
know
that's
that there's shit
right.
out there that's a mystery, and this is nature. Don't fuck with nature. You have to. That's with all this respect.
See,
That's it.
nature. See what nature is. I'm sorry. I was hearing Nikki C. She wanted to speak, and I'll talk after Nikki C. Go ahead, sister.
I didn't ever say nothing.
Oh, okay. Um, like I said, man, we are all on our own spiritual path or our own path of knowing or understanding. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the information of these practices or science or whatever you want to call it, theology, whatever it is, that's not the point of argument. It's about respect and disrespect when it comes to who you are, what you know, and how you bring your message across. And a lot of people frowned upon how you view things. You know what I'm saying? I could listen to you, Squid. I mean, I could listen to everything you say and I could understand it to a point. And that's the point of listening to a person to gain an understanding of how that person thinks or what that person knows and what journey that person is on. And maybe I can learn something. But when we block it and say, oh, I don't want to hear that because I'm right here. This is what I believe in. You don't know it. This is what you believe in. You don't know it. It's just like you know how to produce wheat, right? You know how to cultivate wheat. You know how to grow it and everything. You know what I'm saying? But another person will come and say, I know how to make your wheat produce more. But because you believe, you know how to plant wheat, you know how to grow it, you know how to produce it. But when another person say, I know how to make you produce more, how you can get a better yield from this wheat, you don't want to hear it because you know what you know. This is what you know. I mean, you don't want to hear nothing else. So this person that was coming to bring you a understanding that he can allow you, he know how to make you produce more wheat. You don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna keep making these mediocre yields enough to sustain himself. When if he would have took the information from this guy that said, okay, I know how to make you, I know how to give you, I got a formula so that you can produce more. When you could have fed the whole city and instead of just feeding yourself and your family, if that make any sense.
Yeah,
And
well,
that and that
and wheat
comes
bread
also with the
is
information,
wheat
and it
bread. The
also
same
comes.
thing with
It
the
also
information,
right,
right?
yeah. It
And
also comes with information and trying to build on topics that's dealing with
okay, I
knowing
got you.
and believing. You know,
And
I
so
mean,
the proof is in the pudding when it comes to information. right? Like if a person say, look, I got this weak way, check my crops, and the person say, well, see, they might just be racist. I mean, obviously, their crops, wheat, is way more luscious than theirs. So there would be some type of, asshole attitude in it to be like, I'm not fucking with you. You know? But when it comes, with information, the proof is in the pudding. Everybody got different flavors of pudding on their own. Like some people might not even see that shit, but some people be like, I don't fuck with tapioca, right? You know what I mean? It just all these different little things. But when it comes to information, typically if a person is right or is able to aid the accuracy of what they're speaking on, it generally makes sense that people should gravitate towards that. But, right, like how you said, people got their own ways and their own path. And, for example, you say universe all the time, and that should make my skin grow, right? But I don't like get into the panel and be like, yo, if you said universe, like people say galaxies and shit, planets, and they spit that shit all the time. Kind of. But it's more like I think to myself, oh shit, what's a better way that I could attack that, as opposed to saying there's no such thing as planets as we think they are, right? As opposed to saying that there's no such thing as galaxies and black holes like they tell us. But peace to y'all, my phone just died, even though I plugged this bitch in.
That's what's up.
Oh shit, y'all still here?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Not no more.
That's what's up. Nobody got no questions? Nobody come with no questions today?
I ain't got no question. Shit, I got a question. Then fuck it. Back to Polaris, right? Have you ever looked at you ever been to a movie theater and you look at that projector? Don't that remind you of Polaris? Now you can see how our whole life scripted. You understand me? But no, man.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm listening to everybody and what they have to say. But at the same time, we have to realize that whatever our belief system, our knowing that we adopt, that's between you and the creator or whatever you believe in. That's between you. You don't have to really make anybody be able to understand what you're talking about or whatever. You could share, but people are set in their ways. Like you said, they set in on one thing, what they doing. They set on growing their wheat the way they do. And when you try to come and add something to it or give them more information towards being greater, sometimes they
Right.
don't want to accept that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, we know we already didn't gave it to you.
Right.
Whether you want to use it or not, that's up to you.
Right. That's right. That's
That's
right.
it. I know, Brother New, you real passionate about sharing what you know. And those that who are going to grab a hold of it are going to do that. And you're going to have some that fall to the wayside. And that's just the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I understand your standpoint. You know what I'm saying, and I know where your faith right. You know, but I'm not gonna knock you or turn away information that you can give me. It can help me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that video you did where you was talking about the testimony you had. It took me back to a place where I have my own testimony to share about that, and that what brought me into another level of consciousness and understanding about not only myself but people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We, like I say, we put ourselves inside of a box, and we 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 roll and we rock on this one understanding and this one level, and we don't allow anything else in. So when that box started closing in and everything started crashing, we wonder why, and then we become a product of a psychosis called paranoid schizophrenia. When everything is against you and you think everything is the enemy, when everything is just here for you to experience.
Mm. Fact.
Everything is here for you. Everything is a lesson. Even the bad shit that happened in your life, it's a lesson. And once you get to that understanding that everything that we go through in this reality that we call life is meant to raise us up to a higher level. You know what I'm saying? Not only spiritually but consciously of consciousness. And that's what I think a lot of us are missing the market is that we could say we spiritual, but are we spiritually conscious? Are we conscious of our spirituality where it can make a difference in our life? And then that way we can reflect that to everybody else because it's all energy. Just like that song in church, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's your light.
Mm-hmm.
So you allow it to shine to everybody else and they're gonna pick it up. You don't have to make a big effort to debunk or try to go against everything. It's just about letting your light shine and doing you because you're going through your own process of learning and you could never learn everything. The best way to be a master teacher is to be a master student. Always, you always supposed to be a student, even if you are a teacher. You got doctors that keep going back to college to learn more shit, but they got master PhDs, but they still keep going back to school to learn more. That's the same with spirituality and knowing. You know what I'm saying? You can never know everything. You're supposed to always open yourself up to new information. And I fall back. I love y'all, by the way.
Love you back. But I understand what you're saying, and I've been through different forms of learning. I've been through all the forms of learning actually, like as far as spirituality and religion. And to me, spirituality is the same thing what you were saying, the Christ consciousness. And that is something I believe I have. Even though I use the scriptures and all that, it's still all the same to me. Because how can you get there? How can you really? I mean, how I couldn't get there without that.
Everybody had a path. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have their path, which they go. And I feel like this what impedes a person's progress on this journey is dogma. You gotta do it like this. You have to be like this. My ex-wife was a Jehovah's Witness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she used to tell the children, you know what I'm saying, if you don't want to believe in this, then I don't want to have anything to do with you. Because I'm like, I had to talk to my children because I got two children with her. And I'm like, yeah, I keep telling them, just follow your life. That's your mother. I'm not going to go against her. But when y'all get to a certain age, y'all going to figure it out for yourselves. And me as a father, I don't go against that. if that's what they choose to believe in. I'm not gonna go against that, but I always give them nuggets. I always give them what I know. You know what I'm saying? So, because they always ask me questions. You know what I'm saying? Dad, why do you meditate? Dad, why do you have these crystals? Dad, why do you read that book? What's in this book? And I always give it to them when they come and ask me questions. I do not push it on them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think is wrong with society as a whole, is because we have we everybody want to be right, and everybody want to push this narrative to everybody that they believe in, and that's fine. If that's your thing, cool. You know, it's just like a homosexual. I'm all right. I don't care. I'm not against you being who you are, but don't push that agenda on me because I don't rock that way. And we can have that type of respect. It's the same thing with religion. It's the same thing with politics. Just don't push it on me. I respect your viewpoint on whatever you got, whatever you're doing. I'm just trying to be me, and I'm just trying to do me. Allow me to do me. Don't push your shit on me. I don't want your shit. You know what I'm saying? So, so that was a struggle between me and my ex-wife, and that's why she's my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Because she tried to force it upon me, and I'm like, I don't need these brothers coming up to me talking about, Brother Jamal, I need to talk to you about the kingdom, bro. Let me be me. Let me do me. I still love my wife the same, but don't push it on me because you ain't got nothing to do with this union that we have. You know, and that was the conflict. So, you know, one thing led to another, and so this is where I'm at now. And that's my confession for the day. And that's all I gotta say about that. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
Okay, I ain't heard you in a minute, Chris Cypher. You just up there sucking everything up.
Yeah, I'm listening to everybody, man. I'm being a student.
Hey, where Eric Collins at? You all right, brother?
I'm
Yeah,
still here,
man.
bro.
All right.
What's your take
Yeah, I'm
on
good.
all this?
As far as we know which subject you talking about right now.
Oh Lord, he watching TV. As far as spirituality and people's beliefs, why is it that we can't accept someone else's beliefs for what they are?
A lot of times many of us want to be so correct as to what some of us individually believe, and even though a lot of us do believe the right things, we don't know how to accept what other people believe without being disagreeable to the point where it's argumentative. I mean, sometimes we understand that I understand that, about Christ and stuff like that. I understand that, but it was like, say, other people who may not necessarily believe what I believe. Some people don't know how to accept it. I don't know if I answered that question right. But did you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some people just don't know how to accept other people's beliefs.
Yeah. But you don't have to say that their beliefs are wrong just because that's not your belief.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what I was that's what I was getting at when I was talking about the wheat. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you doing good where you at. But if somebody comes to you and be like, hey, I know how you can power the fuck up. Yeah, I can help you. But you like, no, 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 no. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm where I'm at. You only have enough to feed your family. But what if you had enough wheat to feed the city and make money off of it to feed your family better? And it's not about the economic part about it. It's about feeding your soul when it comes to this path that we on. Sometimes we have to listen to different points of views of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? We have to look at different points of views of knowledge itself because that's the only way we can learn. It's just like if you stay stuck learning geometry, you know what I'm saying, in the ninth grade, and you scared to learn trigonometry, you know what I'm saying, or physics or any of that. You don't want to go into chemistry. You just I'm all right here. I know how to add. I can count money. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Then that's where you're gonna stay stuck at. And it's all about the mind at the end of the day. It's all about the mind, not the brain, the mind. The mind. You know what I'm saying? Because what the mind does, it interprets the five senses to bring forth the reality that we're living in. But the will is what pushes it forth. You know, I mean, man, it's just.
You drank some of my wine?
No, I didn't drink none of your wine. I got my own wine.
Better touch your wine.
They laughing at me right now.
I got 2 bottles of wine. Wine for the taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say that my wife, and this is what I'm saying, as far as being around people and connecting with people that's on your frequency. You know what I'm saying? It's not always going to be perfect, but y'all have an understanding of where y'all at. You know, just like me and my wife, we are both spiritualists. You know what I'm saying? We are both into our craft. We are both into the mysteries of life, and we're trying to. I'm not gonna say we're trying to figure it out. We're figuring it out from a spirit and soul perspective. And everything that we do is for the advancement of our spiritual practice. It's not about staying stuck in a point where you just gotta listen to some Yahweh shit and be like, yeah, okay, I understand. No, I don't understand that shit. Allow me to understand, and that way we can move to another level. And if I can understand what you're saying, we can have a conversation. You know, and I have to put that out there because that's like a cancer in a lot of people, in a lot of organizations, and a lot of bills. You have a person like that comes in, and everything that a person says, that person says, is accepted as fact. But don't nobody fact check what he's saying. I fact check what he's saying, and he's full of shit. He's a false prophet, and he's not right in his act. And that's all I gotta say about that. You know, he's you know, that's another story for another bill. But yeah, man, like I said, man, the dynamic of being with people that's on the same frequency you on, and y'all can talk and y'all can disagree without disrespect, and that's key. That's key when we're out here building and we're trying to build a foundation where we can go to power and say this is what we want. Just like what me and Aaron Collins was talking about, as far as reparations and like I say, I'm about to try to open up a line to the motherfucking chief of the fucking commander in chief. I want to know your agenda for reparations, or what's your agenda for the nation of black people inside of this country. But what I also need is for our people to be formulating an agenda for us. Because can we continue to call ourselves black people when everybody say, well, okay, black is a color. Okay, so what are we? So we need to define ourselves so we can be able to, because everybody not going to say they're indigenous, and everybody ain't going to say they're more. And you understand what I'm saying? So we have to come to some type of consensus where we can go and to power and say, this is what we want. This is what we deserve as being the world slave for the past 500 years. You know, what is our get back? China got their reparations. Japan got their reparations. All these other countries, they got their reparations. The Jews, they got their fucking reparations. What about us? We are no longer going to be useless eaters no more. No, because we have the potential. You know, we have so much potential within us as a people that we could totally break away from this whole economy, this whole system, and this shit'll be bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have nobody to put in jail for the industrial prison complex where they make trillions of dollars off black men being in prison. You know, they won't be able to make money off heads of children because they're inside of the system of welfare. They wouldn't be able to make money and billions of dollars off our birth certificates and social security cards. If we was to say fuck this system, everybody say fuck the system, but are you really saying fuck the system, or are you just saying fuck the system for likes and views? You know, I'm done ranting, man.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it sounds yeah, it sounds good.
Right.
No, we just people like I was saying earlier that you don't know how to agree to disagree, and then don't know how to disagree right. I know some of you probably thinking, what do you mean by disagreeing right? I mean disagreeing without becoming disrespectful and violent. It's okay to not agree with people on something. Some people don't know how to do that though without because people who like that just want to have the last word. They want to be right, and then they feel like they don't want to take a L, and we know that's the trick of the enemy right there.
Mm-hmm. That's facts right there.
And through training in the military, we was forced to lose. They did everything they could in your training for you to lose, for you to give up, for you to say fuck this shit. They pushed you to the fucking limit. You know what I'm saying? They pushed your mind, your body, your spirit to the limit, not to make you give up, just to and program your mind to not lose because you are the number one fighting force of this military. And so your mind have to be on such a high level of thought that anything that comes your way, you do not see losing. And that's where I come with my spirituality aspect. With the spirituality aspect, is that I'm gonna put my mind in so many different type of situations. You know what I'm saying? So that
What's up, bro?
when I do encounter a situation, I I don't see lose. I'm trying to not that I'm trying to win to get a upper hand on you. I'm trying to get you to understand that, bro, I'm here with you. I'm on your side. I'm here to strengthen you. But I'm gonna do everything I can to get you to think. I just want you to think. I'm here to I'm here to challenge your rational thought of everything that you think that reality is. I'm here to challenge that. I want you to think, and I want you to come. I want you to come at me if I'm on some bullshit too. If I'm on some bullshit, I want you to be like, no, you was wrong on that. Because what you're doing now, you reversing it back to me, and that makes me go back into my bag, and I have to rethink, reorganize, and restructure whatever I'm doing because I want to be right, and I don't want to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Within my path, because at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's no religion higher than truth, and I just want to bring the truth, and I want us all to walk in the truth and in the light. You understand?
That's what's up.
Hey
And
there,
it,
peace everybody on the panel. How you doing, guys?
Peace,
Cypher.
Queen. What's good?
Oh man, it's hot as all Hades out here. How you doing, Sister Nikki? Hey, Brother Noon. I don't
Hey,
know the
sister,
other
how you doing?
gentleman. Doing well,
Brother
doing
Aaron.
well.
I'm Aaron
Hey, nice
Collins.
to
Good
meet
to
you.
meet you, sister.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Well, I just had a little something to contribute to what was just said um, in the discussion that you were having. Well, uh, people have been trying to fight like the reparations thing. We already kind of have a good idea where that's going. Right? It's in how many years? But my opinion on that is, look at it. I know he don't have that is ridiculous. I'd have cut the camera. He is too small to be walking around with that 40 on his waist. I'm from Texas, y'all. Excuse me. Open carry state. Anyway, um, so we just have to know how to fight, and it doesn't have to be that deep. And what happens is, as y'all touched on earlier as well, sometimes everybody doesn't need to be a teacher all the time. Sometimes you need to be a student. So what was happening was you had all these people. You remember when everybody was going around claiming sovereignty and getting jacked up out there in those streets or whatever, because sometimes people who aren't teachers are trying to teach, right? So anyway, I'm what people call an auditor, and it's so easy. It starts with, gotta start somewhere, right? Starts with the simply learning your rights. I don't want to fight your ass as a sovereign citizen. I want to fight your ass as an upstanding, tax-paying American. That's what I want to do. And that's how people might not like it, okay? But that's how you win. Trust me, when I go around doing these audits or whatever with my camera and talking to these people and speaking their language of law, I'm not exempt. No, I'm not. I'm an American with First Amendment rights. Say you must learn the jargon, but I mean, I don't know. I hope nobody even takes the time to learn the laws of their own state, and yet they'll take to the internet and then teach you, try to teach you something. What's the laws in your jurisdiction? You know what I mean? So I don't
And
know, but I think everyone should start there.
yeah, you're right about that, sister. And yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. And by the way, I lived in Dallas for 15 years before I moved out here. And I used to be a concealed carry holder myself. So I definitely agree with you about learning the laws in your state, because you learn the laws, your knowledge you have could save your life for one thing. And
Exactly.
you're walking around here closed minded and sleep. That's pretty much living suicidal.
See, I'm like in the DFW Metroplex, right?
Oh yeah, I lived in Dallas for 2 years. That's where I lived. Okay.
Okay, see, I'm your neighbor over here, and so we don't even have to identify. So it wasn't until I started learning my rights that I don't
Yeah,
even have to identify. Am I suspected of committing a crime in the act of committing a crime, or do you believe me to have committed a crime? I don't even have to identify myself. So I
right.
could have been sparing myself a lot of arrests. When you were younger and you had a warrant and you just go ahead and fork over the driver's license. That's you
Yeah,
basically telling on yourself. Now I'm not
yeah,
telling other people to get out there and just try it. You know what I mean? Because there is gonna be that one snot nosed rookie cop that will arrest
mhm,
you unlawfully anyway. But
mhm,
it helps to know
yep,
your rights. You know what I mean?
exactly,
So yeah, but yeah, I was just arresting myself basically. What did I do, officer? Am I detained? I don't even have to show my
exactly.
license. Now I have a warrant because I told on myself. See?
Yep.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't live in
we're
Texas no
able to
more,
make
but
changes. Where'd you move out
yeah,
to?
I live in California now, but I lived in
Oh
Dallas for
Lord.
15 years. Yeah, I lived in Dallas for 15 years. I'm not even from Texas originally, but I did live there for a long time. And yeah, Texas is a pretty interesting state. Now, so with you living there, you know about the castle law too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Please come
Hmm.
on in. I want you to. I'll leave the door unlocked for you. Leave the lights on too.
Hmm. Well,
Yep.
the
You
castle law
probably
is not even necessarily even your house. The castle law could extend
the
even
front lawn.
your car.
See? And then
Hmm.
I know the difference between private, public property. Okay, where I can and cannot. You can have. See, they'll come fuck with you if you're out there in your lawn drinking a beer. They can't do that. This is private property. You can't arrest me for an open container because I'm drinking my beer on my front yard. It's mine. See, a lot of people don't know that either. But see, that's why it's important to just know your rights. Or you can't make me pull it out or whatever they try to come harass you for. So all you have to do, sometimes we have to learn different languages, and this language that you need to learn is called law, rights, constitution. You know what I mean? Screw all the you can't necessarily listen to what you heard on YouTube. You're not exempt from shit. You learn when they breaking your window out, what your Moorish rights do for you. I'm not trying to be ugly, but they've been hemming people up. The first time you play the sovereign, and then they're gonna mark you down as a terrorist too.
Yep.
Okay, just learn your law, learn your penal code, learn your languages, and then they'll back off. They'll be like, "Uh-oh, this brother or sister know what he or she talking about." Okay, and then you have the right to also always ask them to identify. Always ask for a supervisor if you feel like you are being unlawfully detained. Always, they must get a supervisor out there.
Yep.
Policy per policy.
If they don't have a warrant, no, you're not searching anything. You got a warrant? Well, we
Oh yeah,
believe.
and never talk to them. Yeah, and never talk. Please, ladies and gentlemen, ma'am, sir, please, everybody under the sound of my weak voice here, never talk to police. They're really not your friend. That's why they say anything you say will be used and held against you in the court of law. Ain't no such thing as having a little sidebar chit chat with them. Okay. Now I'm not saying there aren't cool ones either, though. Okay, but just be careful. Be careful. But that was up, Mr. Aaron. Yeah, you know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
You definitely know what's going on. Yeah, and it's a lot of I don't know. We're gonna see who's gonna. They said Texas is supposed to because they're just doing they want you to stay at home down here until April 30th. Nobody's really been doing that, and I haven't seen the police really harassing people for it. But we're gonna see. Schools canceled for the rest of the year, so we're gonna see if they open up, the city or whatever they're supposed to do. I don't know. Who knows? And you know what? Basically, I'm on a who cares level. I just want to be able to get back into my favorite restaurant and sit down and eat. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, I understand that they're giving people papers down there. You have to work. They give you it's basically they're giving you your freedom papers so you can go to your next plantation.
Yeah, they supposed to though. You supposed to be required to get tested of some kind, and they making people. They're reassuring them because I saw some officers do it. It looks like a little old breathalyzer test. So I don't trust them. I'm not inhaling, blowing, none of that.
That's
until
what
all
I just spoke to a friend of mine. Oh, I'm sorry, Nikki. Were you saying something?
I said, that's what I'm saying. Like, how come y'all can just make somebody do something? Like, people have been fine. I've been fine. You've been fine. Aaron has been fine. So until we show some type of symptoms, I don't feel like we need to be having to be forced to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to rewrite the Constitution. Matter of fact, I literally just spoke to a friend of mine yesterday who was actually who visited me from Dallas. She lives in Dallas right now, but she's going to eventually move out here too soon. But she said when she got off the plane, that state troopers in Texas were pretty much approaching everybody and telling them that they have to stay in the house for 14 days because they came from California. And I'm like, well, what is it about California? California, for one thing, has actually been leading the nation as far as safety procedures and stuff like that. Matter of fact, Washington and the state of Oregon have actually jumped on board with California because of the procedures that it's been taken. I mean, like, people have criticized Mayor Garcetti, but I applaud what he's doing as far as at least waiting to what was it, May and stuff to just do things. And I mean, it's not like they're doing in Georgia. I mean, I heard that Georgia they're doing some things out there that may not necessarily be safe, but then also look at the things that they're opening too. You know, read between the lines. There's a lot of stuff that we as Black people like to go visit, and I don't think that's exactly a great thing yet. I mean, I tell people, listen, take advantage of this time to stay home. I mean, go for a walk and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong going for walks, but if you got a chance to stay home, I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're really just doing it for everyone's safety. They're not really necessarily trying to, at least what I'm thinking, they're not trying to run people. I mean, you do have some cuckoos out there. They're trying to be super elite and stuff like that and control people. But I think for a lot of times, I think some people are really genuinely concerned about folks' safety and health.
I don't know. It just, like I said, I don't know. Because, I mean, everyone, like I said, everyone has their own opinion on it. And, that's definitely one thing that divides us, who thinks what and who believes, we're supposed to do the mask, who believes we're supposed to do the gloves, who thinks it's a hoax, who thinks it's real, who thinks we should go to work. You know what I mean? Like, this is like divided a whole nation. So, I mean, I know what I think about it, but I mean, I don't know. But I do think it's about time for everybody to get back to work. Everybody needs to get back to work. I know domestic abuse percentages have risen. Okay, you cannot keep everybody in the house together for that long like that. And so you're supposed to go to the store and back. There's been a lot of domestic abuse situations escalating out here. But I don't know. And I'm kind of concerned with the children. Like, so what are the children doing? They just in there playing video games and on the devices and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then so I don't know. I think it's just about time for everybody to get back to work. It was fun. 2 weeks, 3 weeks? That was wonderful. Okay, let's go back to work. That's just my personal opinion.
Right? Yeah, you on point. Yeah.
So, and then what do you think about your boy when it first started manifesting itself? So you think he lied, or you think he was joking? Your boy himself, Trump, we know you voted for him. Okay, now I like to make jokes too, so you get used to that. All right. He said it was a hoax.
Yeah, Trump. I really got admit. I mean, I don't. He really did not really look into this like he should have. He didn't prepare he didn't prepare the nation like he should have when he had the chance to. Why he didn't do it? I personally think it was basically a selfish act on his part, and maybe he just got lazy and didn't want to deal with it and wanted to say it was definitely a Chinese virus, as he put it.
It was fake news. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. It was fake news.
No. You got a point there. Exactly. We throw those fake news or some deep state type of talking, but we know now that's not the case.
But I still don't know anybody with it, Aaron. And then let me tell you this: when's the last time you seen Trump with a mask on?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen him with one on. I heard that he did get tested. Now, I'm not going to say that. It's a lot of people out here with these conspiracy theories and stuff running around, and whether it's a man-made virus or not, I don't really even try to get into that. I'm like, okay, listen, just put the mask on, put the gloves on, do what you're supposed to do. See, some people like to make things more complicated than what they are. if they say take precautions, just take the damn precautions and get on with your life. That's the way I look at it.
Now, okay, I'm gonna trump you again. All right. So what about
Can't
the
get on
fart?
with
How
our
do you
life. We
protect
can't get
yourself
on with
from
our
the
life if
fart?
we can't work.
Huh?
We can't get on with our life if we can't work. If that what we're supposed to do.
I get and I get what you're saying on that too. That they're talking about with this money and stuff, sending people money. I mean, if you have to apply for unemployment, apply for unemployment. From what I hear, that they're practically giving away money with unemployment. And if you have to do that for however long you have to, just go apply for the unemployment. And I even hear people even had some stuff to say about the stimulus checks.
It's not even,
I mean,
it's
if
not
they
even
want
just that. Some people have curfews. Some places have curfews.
They're just making it difficult and confusing for everybody. Then you're gonna have to pay it back.
People you gotta work.
I said some in some states there's curfews, like on
Right,
the
I
East
was
Coast.
asking. Right, I was just saying, can't you just tell people? Yeah, I was trying to answer your question. Can you just tell? Can't you just tell people? Oh, I gotta go to work. I mean, they should honor that, especially if you wear a uniform.
Like some states are strict. Like it seems like some states are a lot more strict than others, though. And some people, I do hear about people really being harassed for not being, inside or not wearing the mask. And it's just they just need to let everybody choose. Then, like, just you can't force everybody to stay at home. What they should do is then give you the power and the right to choose. If you'd like to go back to work, I'd like that option. Okay, and I don't want to have to get a blood test and a physical exam in order to do so either. I would just like to go to work.
Right.
It's interesting. And that's what I was asking you too, though. Now, so okay, if you're supposed to wear your mask and your gloves, though, then we have to hear things like, and I'm so sorry, you didn't hear me the first time. I'm gonna repeat it. What about the fart? How do you protect yourself from the fart? Because someone now said that is contagious. Mr. Aaron.
Oh, you said SARS?
No, the fart, the poop.
Oh,
they said that you can now contract it from a poop.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, Google it. Google it now. It just keeps morphing into something where now I guess if you're in the if you're in the store and you walk through a fart, you're in danger. Like how does that make you feel?
I said this before that there's people out there that really they want to sound important. So they they say asinine things and stuff like that. I'm like, and I'm like this. That's the first time I've actually heard that when you mention it. And you got people out here. They want to impress people. They want to show off how intelligent they are. When to me they sound stupid is all it out. I'm like, what proof do they have of that? First of all, I mean, people have been farting for centuries and decades. And I haven't heard no one catching nothing then. So now all of a sudden we got a worldwide pandemic, and now you can catch it from a poop. Come on now.
Yeah, it's so hilarious. And like I'm just seeing things like we make little jokes.
They trying to nail it to anything that happens naturally.
Yeah, just anything like that. I don't know what they're trying. If they're building up so everyone will run out and purchase a vaccine. Or what has anybody heard of the vaccine yet? Like, what is really going on with this? No vaccine yet? See what I mean? Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a vaccine for the flu, where's the vaccine for this? You said it's just a special strand of the flu, basically, right? With all the technology and medical geniuses that we have, we can still and yet not find a vaccine for this international pandemic. Confusing.
That's the key word.
Between us and China and Africa, nobody can't find one.
Yeah, you might be able to find it in the hood.
You know what I mean? Like it's just getting a little peculiar. But yeah, all I
Yeah.
say is just everybody just take your regular precautions. Like if you weren't a nasty person before, I don't think you're in danger. Keep washing your hands when you go to the restroom. Be
I have a,
careful when you
Exactly.
touch doorknobs
I
and
have a
You know
PSA.
what?
mm,
They're saying in Atlanta, they're saying they have something else that kills the coronavirus. You know, in the
mhm.
barbershop, that blue shit that they keep in the combs and shit in the
Yeah.
barbasol, that shit they say that kills the coronavirus too.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
You
yeah.
know
I mean,
what?
I guess.
I said this when this whole thing first started happening. I said people basically they're putting on the news people should have been doing anyway. I mean, that's your
Mhm.
common courtesy to wash your hands and to cover your mouth when you sneeze or cough. You shouldn't. No one should have to get on TV and make a PSA to
Yeah.
tell you that.
Tell
You
you.
should
Yeah.
automatically know what to
To
do.
tell you to be clean.
But
And
Right.
then
you know
and
what,
see,
y'all?
I. Mhm.
The longer I live, the longer I stick around. I really am understanding that common sense is not that common.
No, I'll
Right.
tell you what I learned. And my grandma, I had on each side of my family, God rest both of them. They're not mine. Neither of my grandmothers are with me. They're both nurses, but they both used to tell me if anything happened of any kind, if somebody had AIDS and they came in cut and wasted blood on the floor, you know what you do? Bleach. Bleach kills every doggone thing. I don't care what it is. Put some bleach on it. Throw some bleach. Just bleach your house. Bleach your, you know what I mean? Just wipe your little surfaces. You can make your own. They don't have Clorox. You can't find those sanitizing wipes. Get you some regular baby wipes. Pour your little bleach in it. There you go. Boom.
There
Clorox
you
wipe
go.
right there.
That's what I
Bleach.
said. Like you said, I mean, people once again, people just want to complicate shit. I don't like
Yep.
complicated shit. Just show me, just give me the answer, make it plain and clear for me so I can give the solution. Because all these
Yeah,
folks want to
just go
explain
forward.
away everything. They want to say that it came from Martians, from another planet. They want to say all this stuff. I mean, it's people out here just trying to sound so intelligent when you really don't. You sound like a complete fool.
Me and my homies was over there laughing, talking about what you heard about the corona. Like you know somebody in the CIA, Negro, you got warrants still. Who you know in the
Okay.
CIA? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who do
And the
you
next
know?
thing you know, somebody gonna say this. Well, what happened in the lab? They tried to clone a dinosaur, and some Jurassic Park stuff happened, and the T Rex escaped and had the virus. And you know,
Yep. You
I'm
might
I'm
as well
being
listen
crazy
to
right
it.
now, but
No, it wouldn't be surprising. It really wouldn't
yeah.
if we hear it came from because we're hearing that it came from a chi bird or something or whatever. Like that's relevant to anything. I don't know. Like all that matters is, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
All
just
I
it's
know is
just
I'm dealing with the
go ahead,
situation
brother.
right now. It's a virus. It's a worldwide pandemic that we're dealing with, and we're trying to get rid of it. So let's go back to
Basically.
focusing on that and leave all these
Mhm.
conspiracy theories alone.
Mhm. Mhm. But I definitely appreciate that we're able to talk about it without it being like depressing. Some people, boy, you get to listening to them when they talk about this stuff. You mess around and get depressed as hell. Like, you know what I mean? Like the world is coming to an end. You listen to some people, but yeah, as long as you take eat your little what you want a day, your one a day gummies, you know, you should be all right. And I mean, you
Personally,
should always be mad if somebody sneezes on you. That shouldn't be something new because of the corona. You know, I don't. Other than that, I don't see anything different.
I'd rather stop. I tell people to stop looking at the news, and then myself, I mean, I feel like I'm probably at. I mean, I'm careful anyway because I ride public transportation a lot. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not paranoid, but I'm very watchful and alert, and I pay
Yeah,
attention to
definitely be
everybody around
mindful.
me. And yeah,
Yeah, now you got to be mindful because just because you want anybody, you know, suspicious, coughing on you and stuff. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, bus drivers are letting people on the back of the buses and stuff now.
See, that's different. That's very different.
Yeah. They're like, don't worry about paying the fare. Just get on the bus and sit down. Don't worry about that.
See. Oh, and I tried it out too, and I was mad as all outdoors because they're not supposed to be cutting people's mobile phones off. I thought I didn't pay my Metro bill. That son of a gun was off bright and early in the morning. Because I know, I heard. Yeah, I heard like they're, cell phone companies are supposed to be cutting people breaks or whatever. So, I just didn't pay and I was trying to test it out and see. But yeah, my joint was good and all. But I'm with Metro, so go figure, Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say this: stop listening to these so-called self-made geniuses and just do your given service. Do what you know you need to do. You should be all right. I mean, be cautious, but don't live in a state of fear and hysteria. Like I said, be precautious. Do what you're supposed to do. Continue to wash your hands, because a lot of these things that people are saying to do, a lot of that stuff is too much to remember. I done forgot probably a lot of that stuff. I'm listen, I'm gonna do the best that I can with being clean and doing my giving service, and do what I'm supposed to do.
See, and wouldn't it be a kicker? You do all that old extra stuff, mess around and get this corona anyway. See, let me tell you what doesn't make sense. So I told you I'm in the DFW Metroplex, right? Because I don't want anybody weird to come back and listen. There's some weird people on the internet. So I'm not in Dallas, but I'm in a neighboring city, right? So Dallas, I'm not, I can't, I can't do it.
I got you.
Think Longhorn.
I got you.
You'll figure it out. You got me. Think Longhorn, okay?
Got it.
All right, cool. So Dallas is on house arrest or whatever. Why do they have 2,400 cases of it, and then we only have 1,400 cases of it, and we weren't on lockdown?
Wow.
How does that make sense?
Yeah, Dallas.
They said, the Dallas wouldn't let anybody in or out of the city. Yeah. Wow. Like even if you worked in a city other than Fort Worth, they were not letting you leave.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they want contained for real. Dallas is not even that big, and they got people contained like that.
And they have a higher case than that. And I'm gonna have to send you a link, Brother Aaron.
Yeah.
They're putting the people in RVs out here.
RV. Wow.
Yep, by the convention center. Thought that was kind of interesting. And they're saying one area of RVs is for people who certainly have it and have severe symptoms. The other ones are for possible, and the other ones are for ones who tested positive. Right by the convention center. And they closed all of the shelters down and moved everybody into the convention center. Found that quite interesting.
Yeah, the convention center is not too. Yeah. The convention center is not too far from the DLF anyway.
See? So why would you haul them up and just basically march them up the street? See?
Yep.
And I think that's who they're making get inside. I think they get caught outside, they're gonna bring them to the center. But I don't know. But anywho, you guys, I've got to carry on about the day. It was very lovely meeting you. I hope you join us again.
You too. What's your name
It
again,
turns into
sister?
bills sometimes. We usually do. I'm Strange Magic. I used to be
Oh, wait
Strange
a
Shade, but
minute.
I'm Strange Magic.
I've seen you
Yeah,
before,
you used to
Strange
see me a
Magic.
long time ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you used
know.
to see me a long
Yeah.
time ago. Strange Maid. Yeah, we never
Um.
spoke though. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Well, you see, our Q and A's and our confessions sometimes turn into bills. We just let it go where it goes.
Right.
But you have to catch us. Catch us when it goes late at night, because somebody always gets hemmed up, with their confession, or whatever you'd like to call it. But we like to thank everybody for coming over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge, where we do our confessions. You can ask a question, give your answer. We usually allow for 2 minutes, unless it turns into a build, as it did today. You can always share your point of view. There are no wrong answers. But if a contradiction is spotted, please do not be surprised or alarmed if it is highlighted and pinpointed and discussed. All right, we love you guys, and everybody have a great day. Thank you, God Cyphers. I'm gonna be in the chat listening.
I got a confession. I don't drink or smoke. Is that good enough a confession?
I mean, yeah, you confessing, so
Yeah.
it's part
I
of it.
don't drink. I don't smoke. But you know what? No, I mean, I don't look down on people who do. You do what you do. I do what I do. And that's what it is.
Nice.
Yeah, Chris, man, this is the first time I think I've been on your channel on your panel, man. This was a pretty good build, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming too, man. Giving us some of your light.
Oh yeah, yes, sir. I admit I kind of fell. I also confess I fell asleep a little bit, but I did put in the chat though that I probably wasn't gonna be on long, and I wound up staying on and still going to sleep. It's all good
Right,
though. Woke up and started building again.
right. Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's up. We're gonna bring this to an end, y'all. Appreciate everybody for coming out to the Smokers Lounge. My brother Aaron, if you have any last words to say, the floor is yours.
I think as Black people we should start doing stuff like this more often. And then once again, I started the conversation with this. I guess I'll end it. But shout out the young Pharaoh. Keep doing what he doing, and yeah, I know a lot of people are pushing back on it, don't agree with it because of who he's trying to deal with. But like I said before, I think I kind of get it. I think I understand what's going on. It's a little bit complicated to explain right now, but I think I'm starting to get some things.
Nice. That's what's up. There's nothing wrong with understanding what
Yeah,
another's point of view or perception.
yeah. And everybody hit the like button too, supporting my brother Chris Cyphers here. A good brother. And like I said, I didn't spend. Yeah, we didn't been on other panels before together.
Yeah, most definitely. We built on Nikki's a few times. And
Yeah.
shout out to the Queen Nikki. She was in here building as well.
Oh yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. Yeah, appreciate everybody for coming through and building on the Smokers Lounge. Another confessions bill. This was a pretty good bill, as I expressed before, and I appreciate everybody coming through. Um, giving a point of view, and make sure everybody stay safe, and make sure you out there getting your waters, getting your food, getting all your fruits, You know what I'm saying? Get all the things you need. You know, you don't have to go buck crazy and get stuff that you really don't need. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just do what you need to do to keep you going through. You know, and make sure you get enough. Because
Yes,
people
sir.
be at them stores. So you know, start stocking up.
Right.
Um, you know, that being said, peace and love to everybody. Um, you know, and y'all know how we end this.
Bless you.